just like, fight the whole game, like, you know what I mean? So it was fun. It was very enjoyable.
It was. It was.
Very enjoyable. And that, the little Aaron Rodgers play there at the end to wait for the game winning touchdown, jump
Yep.
off sides, go deep,
Love that.
dude,
Love that.
dude, the awareness, love it. And he had two, he had two people deep. I think on that play, there are a couple of things about the game that I would say for defensive backs. Number one, on the touchdown pass that he threw, that Musmeyer threw. I thought, like, when you're throwing a ball that's so, he threw a high pass to a wide receiver who was spinning in the air, who's just trying to get that 1 foot down,
Right.
like, just push him out of bounds, cousin. Like,
Yeah.
that push out rule doesn't. I mean, you saw Covington do it earlier in the game. Just don't make a play on the ball. Just push him out of bounds.
Well,
And
he got caught out in no man's land, and that's all it was. He
was caught up whether to play the ball or play the man.
Yeah, and then he stopped. He was like, "Oh," and really, it's one of those things where whatever you're gonna do, just go with your decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Make a play with the ball. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're gonna play the ball, just go play the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna play the man and push him out of bounds.
Yeah, and my only thing was, like, if you're gonna throw the ball, if the ball is over your shoulders, just push him out of bounds.
Right.
In my opinion, but like obviously if it's waist high, chest high, make a play on the ball. Should be. I mean, it changes the whole outlook of the season. The schedule looks, that 2-2 could be 3-1 in those 4 games now. So
absolutely.
So we'll see what happens there.
Much bigger than that. He made a big block there. Moss buys a little time, puts it into traffic. Did he pull that down? Kyron Hudson. Oh my goodness, what a catch! What a play. That's just a one hand. Let me throw my hand up.
Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Rights USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with Coach B, and I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, and Blue DVL21 is Coach B's. And he also hosts a show called Run the Yard, and there was a team from Southern California yesterday that ran the yard out there at Allegiant Stadium.
Absolutely, and loved it, bro. Like you couldn't get no better showing outside of some pure dominant showing, but
yeah.
We didn't expect that, right? We didn't expect some purely dominant showing, but the disrespect that we were getting as a team from the other fan bases was just dumb. You know what I mean? And it was just, I was like, how you guys really think? I had somebody tell me they were going to beat us by LSU was going to beat us by 14 points. You know what I mean? I had people telling us, we were going to be beat by 10. Based on what? What was that based on? Other than you don't know who we have?
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me that Coach Henny, that they had a better D-line coach than us. Where? No, literally, that's what he said.
You want to ask Aaron Donald about that?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, so you telling me that's what I told him. So you telling me the guy who coached Aaron Donald and Kobe Turner and got all these guys, these young guys, rookies that had amazing seasons. That guy is the one you're telling me that you have a better D-line coach than him?
Yeah. It was really I kind of felt like a friend of mine, SC fan, texted me, and we all remember the Source Awards where Andre 3000 was like, the South got something to say though. And it was like, and then this was the West Side version of it, but the West got something to say though.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
We have something to say.
Yeah, there's something to say. And I think the biggest thing in this game too was like, could they just stand toe to toe on the defensive and offensive lines? And they did that.
Right.
I mean, and that was a huge part of this game. Did they get pressure on the quarterback? And not really, but like they didn't. Basically, they gave up a 39-yard run to Emory, and if they didn't, I get a good job by LSU because if Emory doesn't play in this game, I don't think they even get anything going in this game at all. And then so and they had a huge pass play to I think like a 41-yarder as well. But besides that, they didn't really do it. It really didn't do much. They had to dick and duck their way all the way down the field. I think I've always said this. I said this once in 1,000 times. Whether I'm playing Madden, whether you're coaching football, whatever you're playing college football, 2024, whatever. That first drive can't be for nothing.
No.
So you cannot like if you're Brian Kelly, like you cannot go for it in that situation. You got to kick the field goal and get 3 points out of it. In my opinion, on the first drive. Later in the game, do what you want, but on the first drive, I think now for me, if it's 4th and inches, I'm gonna try to bang it in with a quarterback sneak or whatever. But you got to come away with some points after you took almost the entire first quarter of that, and they end up losing a game where like those 3 points actually mattered. So, but
yeah, I'm not totally upset with him. I was surprised. Don't get me wrong. Definitely surprised that he went for it. But the way they were moving the ball, we were playing soft coverages. It was almost like bend don't break the first half.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we're playing because we were giving them the soft coverages. Everything was underneath because we were giving them 7 yards a pass. We're giving them in the first quarter, in that first drive. I'm like, why are we playing so soft? We're standing at 9 and still bailing and are getting in the back pedal as soon as the ball is snapped. Like, why are you standing at 9 yards and still doing that? Like, we're giving you this.
There was a 4th and 2, especially where I'm like, I thought, listen, like I am forever grateful that Dan Lynn is the defensive coordinator right now, and then not Alex Grinch. But I thought in that moment, like you could, he had outside, he just gave him outside leverage. It was easy 4th down. A stop there. Like that really would have been nice to see. But great job by Mason Cobb on the blitz up the middle.
Man,
he timed it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna run plays like that, sometimes when offensive play callers call those plays, they wait until the clock is running down. Like, well, but defensive players see the clock too, so it's like, dude, they can just time it up. Like, if you're gonna run the play with a little bit more to go in the clock. But the defensive line I thought played well. I think the offensive line did their best to hold up. The third quarter got a little bit tricky for them, and that's where LSU lost the game because they went up 17-13. They could have put a dagger in there. A touchdown there probably make it 24-13, probably ends the game. But listen, that 3rd and 1 stop. That was a 3rd and 1 stop where they didn't get the best offensive line in college football, couldn't move us, and it was basically a half-yard loss.
Right, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I give a lot of credit to our D line because I felt like while they didn't move us, while we didn't move them pressure wise, they didn't move us either.
100%.
You know what I mean? It was always like a stalemate. It wasn't nothing that was. You have 2 bookend tackles supposed to go first round. They did nothing.
Yep.
Right. We were able to, and to Lynn's credit, he saw that and then started blitzing off the edges.
Yep.
He started bringing people. Gentry was coming off the edge now. He started bringing EG off the edge, and they were cooking.
And he didn't. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but Gentry didn't even play. He didn't play a lot of plays in this game, but he was second in tackles, and he was first for tackles for loss in the impact. So he really was
crazy.
He you can tell he is just like, Lord Jesus, thank you that I don't have to deal with AG anymore because the Danton Lynn and Matt Entz, they had those guys playing really well.
No, absolutely. And like I said, it was everything seemed to be strategic, right? It felt, and everything there was a purpose to our defense.
Yes.
This time there was a purpose to what we were doing. Yes. The only thing I can say, it still looked like guys were at least in the first quarter.
Yep.
You still saw guys pointing, kind of questioning, coming out of the huddle. Like the communication wasn't all the way there.
On defense.
Yeah.
There was a play where I think if it was an accurate pass by Nussmeier, it would have been a huge play because of all that pointing around.
Yeah.
But it's a new defense.
No, absolutely. And I think that's something to be cleaned up. I think we'll clean that up because you saw it even throughout the game. It was started cleaning itself. It was cleaned up. You know what I mean? Throughout the game. So it's not bad. It wasn't terrible. I just seen it and I'm like, oh, okay, boom.
Yeah.
See how this is going. Man, now I hope we, start cleaning it up. But like you said, Mason Cobb, not only did he have a great blitz, he had some good tackles. Not only did he have some good tackles, he had the pick, obviously, to seal the game. Was a great play, something that you don't see Mason doing a lot. So it was a great play by him. But I mean, again, like our D line was holding and allowing the linebackers to be good, allowing the linebackers to flow because they're holding. You know what I mean? And we just said, hey, just make plays, guys. And Kamari Ramsey, what can you say? That stop he made in the flat was crazy,
dude. And like it was good for me. It was actually good to see that a defensive back, your friend on a play like that, take the right angle because because the sideline is your friend,
right?
And he just used that sideline and he mauled him out of bounds. Like I mean that was a great, and you saw where ESPN did a good job of showing you where he came from and where he ended up. That's a great play. And even when they missed tackles, Coach, even when they missed tackles, it was people there to make the play. It wasn't like people were like wide open, like running down the field, giving up huge plays. And nobody.
Absolutely.
And then besides that one over route at the end of the game, like there was nobody running wide open by themselves. Like everybody.
I mean, and you look at it like this too. What I did love is that you saw. Remember the gang tackling we seen in the bowl game?
Yes.
That showed itself again. It wasn't a fluke.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? It wasn't a fluke. All that gang tackling they did in the bowl game, you saw it again.
Yeah.
In this game, they were gang tackling. Even if they're no one-on-ones, you saw sure tackling. Even if you, like you said, even if you saw a missed tackle, there was still somebody else coming to clean it up. They weren't far behind.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought for sure on the Brandon Shelby tackle for loss, I was like, oh, I thought the fumble was coming on that one. Like he was in the back. Braylon Shelby. Braylon Shelby took the handoff on that play. I was like, Jesus Lord. But it's so much kind of unravel here. I do want to give the offensive line credit for the hustle play of recovering those two fumbles. Because especially the Woody Marks one, that would have changed the game dramatically. On that play. And I think that that's where I think Link was in like a little bit of a rut in that game. But when the defense stood up for him and made it 2020, he was like, okay, 2-minute drill is what I do. So let me
just Oh, this is what we're doing. I'm in my wheelhouse now.
The minute that happened, it was like, and that's that yin and yang, that complementary football we talk about. Like they're not. This USC team is not one-sided. They're not all offense anymore. So like somebody tweeted the other day about with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams crying because now both these teams are playing defense. In this game. But like at the end of the day, I thought Miller Moss did a good job of leading the team. It may look different, but he was efficient as hell. And we talked about it before. I love the Aaron Rodgers play where somebody jumps off sides, take a shot down the field. That ball was thrown in a bucket to Jacoby Lane.
It was, and he threw it to the only place that it could be. And he dropped it in the bucket. Would I like to see Jacoby go and attack it? Sure. But he dropped it in the bucket. And you can't argue about a pass like that. And you can't argue that it was a heady play because both of them, if you watch when I watched the replay of that play, everybody went on streaks.
Yes.
Like, you seen it, everybody understood what happened up top. You know what I mean? It was like that to me again. It's that I said when we talked about it before, Lincoln has to coach this year. He's showing me that he's understood that I don't have a Caleb Williams, I don't have a magician back here, so it's caused him to have to be actually coaching. And you've seen the details of things come out. You've seen the details of how his coaching come out, which I think is amazing.
The way they reacted to that to that blitz and somebody being offsides, they off the rip they knew
Yeah.
They knew. So to your point, that is 100% coaching as far as that goes. And Kyron Hudson kind of pulled your hair out and then made you jump for joy at the same time. But like the honey hole shot, I don't know why it's even called honey hole shot, but the honey hole shot against cover 2, where he just gets pounded, one-handed catch, and just cradled it and just held on to the football there. Because if they get the 15 yards, then there's still a long field goal attempt. But when you get the targeting on top of it, then obviously you saw Marks what Marks were able to do. But I think people ask us before the season started, well, who's going to be the Taj Washington of this team? I think it's clearly going to be Kyron Hudson.
You see it. You see how they're using him. You see it. He's gonna be the overall guy. He's gonna be the guy. Just get open. We're gonna get you the football and do. He doesn't have the explosiveness.
Yes,
Taj, as far as an open field, but he's that guy that's gonna seemingly be always open no matter what happens.
Yes,
and they have that trust to just throw him the ball no matter what happens.
Yeah. Offensively, I would say I want Zach on the field a little bit more.
Yes.
Because you saw in that last drive, they have to account for him on the field.
Yeah.
And it's going to lead to, Lemon being open, Hudson being open. Lake McCree came through with 5 catches today. Like, when? We're using the tight end now, Lincoln. Mark Andrews somewhere smiling, right? So
I was like, I like McCree exciting. Oh my God.
Kate Eldridge had a catch in this game. Like I was like, we coaching this up. So the only thing about him I always will say about Lincoln is that I think the most dynamic thing he could ever do is have some plays where his quarterback's under center.
Right.
That would be like, I'm just saying, like, I just really think that would be next level. But hey, like, listen, they play. I thought Deuce had a explosive, had explosive play. I think Kyle Ford had a
play too. Yeah.
He had an accidental explosive play because it looks like. I mean, I kind of wondering, like, if that ball went to where it was supposed to go, that probably would have been a nice, huge game for Zachariah Branch. But it was third down. I'll take the.
Hey, listen.
I'll take the first time you can get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're critiquing stuff, but we know, like.
Yeah, we're messing around.
Yeah, I'm taking how I get it at this point because I mean, we've seen. Here's the thing, the offense this year was on time.
Yes,
that has a lot to do with we can block it up.
Yeah.
Right? It has a lot of people are going to say, okay, look, no, it had a lot to do with we can block it up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And when we can block it up, and again, Lincoln has to coach, and he showed that he can coach.
Yep. And the only nitpick thing would be like the timeout situations. I hate spending any timeouts in the second half. And I thought Michael Lance, I thought he played the end of the first half perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And Lance, I mean, I almost lost my TV on that field goal. On that kick, we're gonna kick off on that kick.
When he missed it, I'm like
because he played it because like it was almost like a game of Madden, right? When you score at the end of the first half, you get the ball back. Like that was huge for them not to on that play. I mean, it was. I mean, but I kind of the only thing I mean, like obviously you take the picture when you get it. It would have been nice if he could have got a game winner.
Right.
Just under his belt because we're gonna need the kicker. We're gonna need him. But it was nice to also see him kick the ball in the end zone. Like
no. And see, people were laughing.
What is that like?
People were laughing at me, and I'm like, because I was like, yes, touchback, and they were like, people were looking at me, and I'm like, oh, you don't understand. You don't get it.
You don't understand, dude.
You don't get.
Literally had that. I mean, Dennis had that ball at the 40-yard line.
Yeah,
some of these games, like I mean, y'all don't understand, dude.
Like I said last year, instead of kicking deep, we might as well just onside because they're getting the ball in the same spot anyway.
Exactly.
Onside kicked every time.
Exactly. I just I was joking with somebody because my boy was joking with me. He was like, "So how the hell? Of course, LSU would have a huge athletic kickoff specialist because that dude was big as hell." The guy was, he was like, and he was a brother on top of it. So he was like, "Yo, oh my God, like you have that dude." And like I think that Zachariah would probably took it to the house on that play. But those penalties were huge. The penalties by the offensive line were big in this game,
Yeah,
and I mean, for them running their mouth, those plays were huge for them to get for them to give up. But I thought SC did a good job of staying, kind of keeping their composure. A lot of yapping in this game, a lot of talking in this game. But I think for the most part they held their own, and they did what they had to do. And I was good to see. Like, I would love to see you want to see a little bit more balance offensively, but but there's games where you throw all that out and you just and you do what you got to do to win the game.
You go what works, and now and so you know what I did like though. Even after Woody fumbled, Lincoln didn't go away from him. Think about last year with Marshawn.
Oh, yeah.
When he would fumble, Lincoln would go away from our run game.
Yeah.
He didn't do that this time. He stayed with it, trusted him. And I think that's huge for Woody at the end of the year. I mean, at the end of the game, you're the guy getting up, you're toting the rock against another supposed to be a more physical team, and you're toting the rock for the touchdown.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, I thought really good distribution here. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different receivers catching a pass. Yeah, so I think there are some more big plays to come in it, and I do think the fact that this is more of a traditional kind of offense here, like, you know what I'm saying, because we don't have a guy who can run around. The guy who can maybe run a little bit is on the bench right now. So, but I saw a tweet by Raleek Brown giving them props for that win, and all I could think about in that situation was like, I don't expect people to stay to the degree that Miller Moss did. I get it, like, you know, you want to go somewhere and play, but sometimes, man, the grass ain't always greener. And if you just sit there and just wait and just give it a breath, like staying where you are could be the best move for you instead of just always, you know, jumping ship and transferring somewhere.
No, absolutely. And you're seeing the guys that transferred. Malachi.
Yeah.
That you thought you were going to start.
Yeah.
Mario Williams. Like they're not going to other, most of the time when guys transfer, you expect guys that from a big program to go to another big program.
Yep.
It tells me something about you when you're going from a big program and you don't get another big program.
Yeah. I mean, Corey Foreman couldn't have used some of he couldn't have learned from this group of coaches. That's just like weird to me. I'm like, dude, you stay for Alex Grinch, but then you leaving for this dude. Like, I mean, just to be in that rotation, like, you know what I mean? Like, just for it is what it is. But I think kids are jumping. I know transfer portal should be there, but I do think that some kids are just bouncing a little bit too early. In those spots as far as that is.
So it tells me that. So originally I had, you know, our schedule was going to look tough. It was going to be daunting because I was worried about all the line. I'm not worried. I'm not so much worried about them anymore. I think they can only go from here. So that tells me the Michigan game is not going to, just because we got to go to the big house to play Michigan, I'm not afraid, right? Notre 100%. Dame game, going to be very, very testy. Very, very testy game. We know that defense is good, you know what I mean? But it's like this game, more than anything, made me a believer of we're not afraid of physicality. We've never really been afraid of physicality, but that the dog work mentality has something. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just lip service.
Yes.
I mean, and it's something that you can see that's not just a defensive thing either. It's not just a defensive thing. It's permeated through this team. And like I said, I like Lincoln in the sense that what he's done is we're going to do what we need to do to win.
Yes.
We understand what we're up against. We got to do what we got to do to win. It's not going to, like you said, 10 different receivers.
Yep.
Touching the rock. It's not going to look pretty all the time for one person.
Yep.
But if we win, what difference does it make?
Exactly. And then you talked about that dog work and that physicality. Like, I think it permeated through a couple of really big hits. I thought Jalen Smith had a hit that if you are a coach of football, it was a clean hit too. So you show that in a teach tape. You know what I'm saying? Right. That hit. There was the hit where Nate Clifton absolutely destroyed the running back on that play. And on the offensive side, Lake McCree cousin. Lake McCree put that into the ground. He buried him in Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah,
like they have to dig him up out of the end zone because he put him in the ground, dude, on that play, and that was beautiful to see as well. So I mean, SC like I said, all around, just like if you get the physical part about the he thing, I think the thing about Lincoln is I think he feels like I can beat a lot of these coaches if I can just take care of that part.
Right.
And so far, so good. I was going for 2-2. I thought of like a lot of teams. I thought Penn State was very impressive this week. Notre Dame, they're physical. Maybe by the time we play them at the end of the season, that they'll have to be rocking on all cylinders. But hey, like listen, like this is the problem with playing that game now. And you and I talked about it. If SC beats UCLA, and they're pretty much set for the playoff.
Right.
Why are we putting anything into that game?
Yeah.
I mean, you could. I mean, you still got. You can sit there and play it, but like, if somebody ever got hurt, you lost your quarterback in that game. Like, when you know, like, do you really want to put? I mean, like, or vice versa, because that schedule, like, they're gonna come to that game undefeated. Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
I mean, that schedule is like like Charmin soft.
Yeah,
I've never seen a softer schedule in my life.
No, for sure.
As far as that goes. So, but you know, it is what it is as far as that is. But SC wins 27-20. Top 13 team in the nation. Hold them to 20 points. You gotta love that. And like everybody's talking about D'Anton Lynn. He might not be here for a long time. I'm like, let's just enjoy this season before we talk about where D'Anton Lynn's going.
Let me just enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. But I think the thing I like about it though was that at the very least, when you look at the construction of this defensive staff, you have Doug Belk, who has called plays before. Matt Entz could be a possible defensive coordinator as well too. So it's not like he leaves and it's over.
Right.
But I'm telling you that Raven, and then you're a Charger fan. You know that Raven style of defense has come into Los Angeles for the Raiders and the Charger. I mean, for the Chargers and USC. Like, that's the defense everybody wants to run now. It's fun. It's fun to play in. You can get turnovers, all those things like that. So, you know, that's something that I would look forward to as well. The one play that I feel like, you know, maybe a teaching moment for Jacoby Lane would be when you have the pick play, just run your pattern.
Yeah.
No contact is needed, because if that ball was accurate to Jay Fair, he's walking in the end zone. He's so fast.
Right.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
So it is what it is. But he came up with the big play at the end of the game. So, you know, lesson learned, I'm sure. But the attention to detail was there. The tackling, the communication, all those things there. They only gave up 20 points. When the game was on the line at the third quarter, they stood tall. And that's something that we gotta love to see out of USC. And I know when I go to the game on Saturday, wish it wasn't at 8:00 at night, but I'm going to the game on Saturday.
I'll be there too.
I just can't. Well, you gotta let me know, because I can actually meet Coach B for the first time and for face to face. But
because I got the field passes for Saturday.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for Saturday. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun times to see what they do against them. And now the schedule kind of changes a little bit, because you win that game, you got your gimme game against Utah State, and then you got 2 weeks to prepare. D'Anton Lynn in the lab, Lincoln Riley in the lab against Michigan.
Yeah, and so I love that, because what we've seen, Lincoln with time,
yes,
is great.
Yes,
when he has time. So we're gonna have a bye week and then we get time. I'm with that. That's amazing for that. That works out perfectly for us.
Yes, it does. Yes,
it works out perfectly for us. You gave me Lincoln with time. Cool. Yeah. I like our chances. Even going up there. Yeah. I love our chances.
Yeah. And some of the things, and real quick before you go, I want to talk about a couple of things about college football, or just in general. I thought good for Cam Ward. Went to a really competent head coach. Went to a competent program, and now he's lifting that draft stock where he could end up being a first round pick if he continues to play well. Should Idaho be ranked? I mean, that's the question. Should Idaho be ranked? I mean, they went to the Devil's Lair, Phil Knight's lair, and almost came with a victory against Oregon. I can't imagine if USC did that.
Right. Like, bro, are you kidding me? If they
Oh
came
my
to our
God.
stadium
Please.
and we only beat them by 10,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
with all the transfers and all the money and all this,
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
your star receiver only has one catch?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see Stewart. I can't wait to see Stewart. I
Just
mean,
one catch.
yeah, one catch. I mean, let's like I said, man, like this the stars are important, but remember Michigan won that whole thing with a bunch of 3 stars too. So like,
Right.
coaching is absolutely huge. And that's what they did as well. So anything else about college football as a whole real quick for the first week?
No, we'll be rerunning the yard tonight on playback for the Florida State game, Florida State Boston College. So please, if you're there, show pop in. No, I mean, man, like I love what I saw.
Yeah.
I love what I saw.
And if you don't have the playback app, download it. It's a great app. You can sit there and watch a game with a bunch of people, and then you'll be able to like make comments and everything like that. So and do things like that. So it's really cool. It's a really cool app. So definitely check that out, and then definitely check out Coach B and his crew on We Run the Yard. It's really cool stuff there.
Yep.
All right. Fight on, folks, and great victory for USC. We got more podcasts coming up during the week. So see you then, and like as always, man, fight on.
Fight on.